dishonest and bribe is prohibited. You should not take each other's money dishonestly, nor shall you bribe the officials in order to take other people's money sinfully and knowingly. That's what I'm going to go ahead. Let me go ahead.
Whatever, it's up to you. If you want to stop and take it verse by verse.
To me, that's my understanding to that one is where we should not take each other's money. Well, the self-explanatory, really. But then it's how some people like to bribe other people for things that they want, and they're doing these type of things in man's eyesight and not really being aware that Allah is seeing it all. And while they're scheming against the people, Allah is scheming against them. So Allah says, do not take each other's money dishonestly or any bribery. All that's prevented.
Okay, let's put this in perspective. You said that God schemes.
Okay, what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying,
said God will scheme against you, right?
I'm saying like, okay, like me and you, and I, say for instance, I say, Michelle, let me borrow $5 or something like that, and then I may take this $5 and go get me a pint of gin or something, or go pay the lottery or something like this. But then I might have told you that I needed something to eat or something like that. And so to me, that's being dishonest. And then also, it's, my understanding with this verse is like, if I was, say for instance, something happened to me and I went to jail and I needed to get out, and I would pay the officials, you know, like say because I stole something from somebody or hurt somebody, and then I would pay those officials to get out of jail or bribe them. I give you $50 or $100 if you let me out. Don't worry about those other people. And then they take it. And so I'm worried about these other people not hearing me and seeing me make this bribe with the judge or whomever, whereas God is looking directly at both of us. And we're both going to be in trouble. But most men, you know, people period, don't think like that. They think that they're trying to hide the man alone. And whereas God is looking at the thing unaware because of their thick veil or whatever that a lot of folks. So that's my understanding.
Also, to put this in terms that happened to what I was saying is that when you said God schemes, you're very correct. In that you go to the market and you buy things, and then you go and give the what do you call the cashier? You give the cashier $5, and she thinks that you gave her $20. So she gives you the change. You bought things for $2 and she gives you $18 back. Because she thought you gave her $20. When you really gave her $5. Now, you have two choices. You can take the $18 and walk out, in which case you are eating other people's money dishonestly, because at the end of the day she will count her money and she'll be short $15. Or you can give her the money back. Like the Quran tells you. The Quran says you give her the money back. You tell her, I gave you only $5. Now, when you said God schemes, it's because if you do walk out with the money, you eat other people's money dishonestly, that person, you don't make $15. You actually lose a lot more than the $15. Something else will happen where you lose a lot of money.
Like you may go home and on your way home you get a ticket.
Right, for $70, speeding ticket. Or worse yet, you get in an accident or something. Because breaking God's law is very serious. You know, the seriousness here is not just taking $15. And $15 is nothing. But the serious matter is really disobeying God. When he says, it's a commandment, you shall not take each other's money dishonestly. So in that case, you return the money because God says you return the money, regardless of how much it is. Yeah. because they will cost you a lot more. They cost you a lot more than the price of the cigarettes.
But sometimes they charge more than the cost.
You'd rather better that you lose money than you gain money, because God never says woe to the suckers. Yeah, you make sure that you're a victim rather than the aggressor, because God makes it up to you. So the Muslim is aware that when this happens, the people usually look at you like, my God, there's some honest people around here. They don't realize that you return it because you're scared to death. Because it will actually cost you a lot more, because it is a lot smarter to give back the money. It's a lot smarter, a lot cheaper, and you make a lot more money than what you're going to make. Yes.
Like they had on the news about someone finding $100,000 for something and he was around that.
Right. Because they belong to somebody who worked very hard for them. Whatever.
I know some will never return it.
Oh yeah.
Some people have a real struggle at first.
I don't know chance to find it.
These are the real tests.
Aisha,
Okay, people, thank you.
don't know.
Okay, far as the bribery, is that the type of bribery? That what I meant?
Well, bribery was, we had a national case of bribery on the TV
Yeah.
and the radio.
The
The
senator.
head of the Teamsters Union was found guilty of trying to bribe a senator, give him a few acres of land in Las Vegas, because they wanted the senator to oppose deregulation of the trucking industry, which means the drivers make a lot of money from you and me. So that this is why when you read it says, nor shall you bribe the officials in order to take other people's monies sinfully and knowingly. So what the Teamsters Union president wanted was to take the people's money sinfully and knowingly, because the deregulation of the trucking industry made the trucking business cheaper for us and less money for them. That's a bribe.
Upscam.
Because of probably living in a society where bribe has become
A way of life.
the law.
Bakshish.
Yeah.
Like in Egypt.
If you don't bribe, you cannot get even your own right.
Yes.
Is it haram to
Yes.
bribe in that case?
Yes.
Even though if
Yes.
you actually bribe,
You shall not bribe. That's the commandment. What the bribe does, you want a visa, for example, to leave the country, and you can get it if you bribe.
But suppose staying in the country means they will kill you unjustly.
Now then Mahmoud makes it very difficult.
Yeah. Suppose you did not commit a crime and your enemies in the government are going to frame you and you know it,
Yes.
and you're given a chance to leave the country, but you have to give, let's say, 100 good Egyptian pounds. If you do not give the 100 good Egyptian pounds, then you will allow other people to commit also injustice. And then if you die, who will feed your family, your children, and so on? It is a hard question.
I make a policy of not putting myself in a test when I don't need to. So, since it's a theoretical situation.
But does bribery include when you are asked for payment for say, a policeman to forget that you've done something wrong? Like in the Philippines, the tao will say, for something, I'm willing to forget.
there's also
Especially on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, on
For a
Christmas,
Christmas gift.
the
I'm gonna
policeman
forget.
tells you, you deserve this ticket. Well, he said, I will pay for the ticket. But he says, never mind, the government is rich, but my family needs it. So you give him time.
That's kind of
Happens in Turkey also.
institutionalized bribe.
Yes.
Like it's just almost a standard thing, whether like going across the border or something.
Nobody's going to get me to say, go ahead and bribe.
Go on.
The commandment is, you shall not bribe.
So God makes it maybe a little easier because he says you shall not bribe in order to take other people's money.
Right.
So perhaps the situation, it doesn't come, don't ask about the things that you don't, that if you knew would hurt you.
Yeah. But you see, the policeman will take a bribe in order to forget about the ticket. Now, where does the ticket money go?
To the
The
government.
ticket, right, the ticket goes to the general treasury, where some other people are going to get the money, possibly salaries or whatever. So what you're doing is diverting the money from other sources.
But for the visa,
But that is different from the other case. So suppose you want to expedite your paper, that's something else. You go again, I take Egypt again. I don't have Egypt.
Okay, but you're
So you are not giving money to, you are not going to take away money from the government. Government says you must pay 10 pounds for passport, all right.
Right.
Then you see this hard-working man and you tell him, here is 2 pounds, hurry up.
Right. You know how he will hurry up?
Is that a bribe or is it a gift?
Okay, I'm going to tell you how he will hurry up. He's going to put my papers on the side and take your paper and push it through. So my paper is going to be delayed. That's what happens. You'll give priority to your papers by pushing my paper on the side or other people's papers on the side. That's
No,
what happens.
that's true.
Yeah, that's
You,
what really
it will
happens.
be at the expense of others.
We
But
must-
suppose he says he will just wake up early and work extra.
No, he will not do that. He will just, he'll push the other people's papers on the side and he will put your paper on the top. That's what they will do. We must remember that there is a law in the Quran that says if you are forced by circumstance without being malicious or deliberate, then you are not committing a sin. So God understands the circumstances, like if you don't get a visa, they will kill you. Now that's self-defense. You bribe, you do anything. You are forced. You are forced by circumstance, and you are not being malicious or deliberate, and certainly you're not eating other people's money dishonestly. So God understands it's a matter of common sense. Islam is absolutely common sense.
Alhamdulillah.
Do you have a question, Loretta? Exactly. And it's not good. Okay, back to Latif.
Do not beat around the bush. They ask you about the phases of the moon. Say, they provide a timing device for the people and determine the time of Hajj pilgrimage. It is not righteous to beat around the bush by asking such irreverent questions, but the righteous thing is to be straightforward and to observe God, and you may succeed. That you may succeed. That's acceptable. But then, I think I seem to have a pretty hard time with that one myself. But straightforward, okay, like how they saying that, you know, like somebody asked you about the moon, but then a lot of times you say, you know, they provided a timing device for the people. So that was, you know, that's boom, straight to the point. You know.
Yeah, well, this really, they ask you, Muhammad, about the phases of the moon. So these people really came to him saying, you're not a prophet. So instead of saying, you're not a prophet, they said, what about the phases of the moon? Tell us about the phases of the moon. But that's not the real question. The question is, prove to us that you're a prophet of God. So they're beating around the bush.
Okay, but, okay.
So God is providing the answer
Mhm.
to Muhammad here in this verse,
Right.
and tell them that it is a timing device, and it will tell us when to fast the month which is the 9th month, and which is the 12th month, the time for Hajj. We were looking at the moon today, and you can tell this is the second day of the month, a new lunar month. And you can tell by the fact that it rises early. Now it gets later and later, bigger and bigger, until to the full moon on the 14th day of the month. So you can tell it's a timing device.
Okay, but no, what I'm saying is like, where I have problem with, I'm not sure, to me, okay, what I'm sure of is that it's saying to me, like people be straightforward, do not be the wrong bush for anybody. That's what it's saying to me, and that's what I do. But then I have problems with that, because sometimes I'm too straightforward. So people tell me, and make feelings or whatever get hurt.
That's very good. Don't
And
worry
so,
about it.
you know, because the society say you should like maybe feel their feelings or whatever, and you kind of hold some of it. But I'm not like that. I'm being straightforward, because that's me. What comes up comes out,
That's good.
and it hurts people's feelings. And I don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings. It's just that I be straightforward. If you know, boom, I don't like your hair. I don't like your hair. Or, you know, and I just say it, and before you know it, it's said it, and this person is hurt. And then somebody come back and tell me, well, people, you should have said something else. You shouldn't have hurt their feelings and stuff, you know. And then that kind of whips back on me to maybe I ain't reading this right. So,
Well,
is
you
that
see
supposed
that?
to be?
Well, first of all, you have to be straightforward. Now, the method-
Any form, fashion, or whatever. Straight.
Don't beat around the bush
Okay.
under any situation. But there are different ways of being straightforward. There's a diplomatic way. There's a way of doing it easy and mild. So the Quran says, invite to the way of your Lord by wisdom and tact
Okay.
and being diplomatic.
Okay.
So you can be straightforward.
Diplomatic.
Yeah, instead of saying, I don't like your hair, you can say, you know, I like your hair better when it is up. So this is a positive, this is a positive statement. At the same time, you told the person, I don't like your hair this way. But you said it in a diplomatic way. You're straightforward, and you're telling the truth. But at the same time, you didn't hurt the person's feelings.
So it is straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Rules of war. You shall fight in the cause of God against those who fight you. But do not aggress, for God does not love the aggressor. And self-explanatory. I think that was one of my first chapters. I went to last Sunday.
Yes.
You may kill them if they attack you, and evict them from whence they evicted you.
Okay, Abdullah, she attacked you.
For nothing, I saw the whole thing.
Sauda threw a pillow at Abdullah. Correction. I have to correct that. She was trying to get Ahmad's attention. She was trying to get Ahmad's attention to quiet down the children.
It was unintentional.
But Ahmed will have no part of it, so she threw a pillow at Ahmed, but she missed. And she got Abdullah. Because Abdullah is always the recipient of these tricks. The other day, Kathleen wanted to trick Errol. Errol had
Done terrible things.
done terrible things to Kathleen. So Kathleen went and got the shaving cream, got a can of shaving cream, and went to Errol's shoe and filled it up with shaving cream. Except it was not Errol's shoe. It was
Oh my.
He was so good about it. He said, well, that's all right, it happens all the time.
So God knows that Abdullah can take it. See, had Mas'ud got Ahmed, he would have turned right around and threw the pillow at her. Found the bigger pillows. But Abdullah just put the pillow aside, smiled, bless himself. I think he carried the shoe to the place. What's the meaning of this? She had to explain that. You shall fight in the cause of God against those who fight you. But do not aggress, for God does not love the aggressor. As you know, Iraq attacked Iran. And they went on fighting each other even in the sacred months when there is no war. It's supposed to be no war. And then they claimed that they're Muslims. The sacred, الأشهر الحرام حرم. ممنوع فيها الحرب. رمضان شوال
Ramadan.
رجب رمضان ذو الحجة حرم. Okay, 191.
You may kill them if they attack you, and evict them when they evicted you. Oppression is worse than murder. Do not fight them at the sacred mosque unless they attack you therein. If they attack you, then you may kill them, and this will be their just retribution.
Keep going.
What's the number?
Keep going. 192.
However, if they refrain, then God is forgiving merciful. You may fight them to prevent oppression and to practice God's religion in complete freedom. Once they refrain, there shall be no aggression except against the wicked. If they attack you during the sacred month, then you may fight during the sacred month. And sacrilegious may be met by equivalent responses. If they attack you, you may attack them to inflict an equivalent retribution. You shall observe God and know that God is with those who observe Him, and spend in the cause of God. Do not throw yourselves with your own hands into disaster. You shall be charitable, for God loves the charitable. Okay, all that's really is self-explanatory. Say the law that Allah is giving us for the aggressor, and talking about the sacred month, that we should not fight in the sacred month, but if somebody aggresses us, then we can fight them or kill them, or even give them the same, amount of punishment that they give us. No more, no less, is that. And I think somewhere else, two Testament states that it would be better if you would forgive them.
Yes. You see, again and again, it says, do not aggress, do not attack, only if they attack you. Yet, the general belief in the world is that Islam is a religion of the sword and the aggressors, and really you don't blame the people because of what the so-called Muslims are doing. But Islam, this is the real Islam in the Quran. Because you do not attack until they attack you.
How about the people have there is a strong Islamic nation in order to spread terror?
You don't aggress. You don't aggress. When they went into Egypt and Syria, there was no war. When they went to North Africa, there was no war. They didn't aggress.
When they went to Spain,
They aggressed. That's why they lost Spain. Now when they went to Spain, they went for other reasons besides.
I think even in North Africa they found some resistance or other. The Berbers, yeah.
Uh-oh. It's good thing that Baroon is not here. Baroon in purple. Libby. So it is, as you see, the verse is very clear that you do not aggress. You take the side of the weak. But the instances where you fight are two things. If you are attacked or if you are oppressed. Religion-wise, because the most precious thing to us is our convictions, worshiping God alone. And if there's any circumstance that would stop us from doing this, you have to fight to preserve it.
Don't be caught at first otherwise. Do this sort of work.
Yeah.
Problem that you mentioned earlier, like the transient problem, that oppression, even here in the city, they had the same thing as far as even setting up tents, and there's something that the city council is dealing with now, and the way it is now, the man has to break a law before he can really better in the school. But is that important? No? You're not actually.
We're talking about religious oppression. Religious oppression. Well, before we close, I want to mention that the dhikr will be, we're going to pray in the morning at 6 o'clock, and it is followed by the Arabic language lessons, and we are having a lot of fun, I'm telling you. If you're not taking the Arabic lessons, you're missing a lot of fun, and the students can testify to that. Also, we have the best Arabic course in the whole world. Just think, next week, Latifa will be reading Quran in Arabic. That's right. And she started from zero. This morning we're going to finish the alphabet in the cursive, the way it is written in Quran. So a week from today, I promise you, Latifa will be reading Quran in Arabic. And this is how good the Arabic course is. Inshallah. Don't worry, Latifa. Yeah, I must say inshallah. Bless your heart. Yes. This is the Quranic injunction. You must say inshallah. So a week from today, inshallah, Latifa will be reading the Quran in Arabic, and you will witness that.
Are you going to teach this?
Yes, we're gonna. This one she's gonna read, but she will not know the meaning of it. Yes, this is only 2 weeks. No, the meanings. Right. Of course. But when you read the word Quran in Arabic, you understand what it is talking about. So when you read words like Allah, there are already some words that you know. Okay, we're going to close, pray al-Isha, and then we'll go home and sleep and come back at 6 o'clock inshallah. Fatiha.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
What is Aaron?
Well, Aaron is in California.
Who? Ah, he was from Param, his mother. Very good.
But the verse we looked at, 11:114, gives the same meaning. So apparently Salat is also another means of wiping out sins. Now, I would say those are the unperceivable sins. What was the word we used today? Inadvertent? Inadvertent sins. Like you tell a lie inadvertently. Like, oh, I love your dress, when you really hate it. You know? This is an inadvertent sin. So the prayers will take care of those. I shouldn't put any limitations on it. There's no bother. Oh, I'm sure any of the positive practices, you know, there's a reason for them. God gave us a prescription. The salat, zakat, charity, the fasting. I'm sure all these things. The fasting is a form of self-imposed suffering, isn't it? And it is worship at the same time, and therefore, I'm sure it wipes sin. So we do it hoping that this will clean our record. But the idea that we learn from the Adam and Eve lesson is that we cannot be in heaven with one sin. And God picked out a very simple sin, you know, it's eating from the tree, bite of apple, you know, you're out. I mean, it's not really a bite of apple, but if we think of it this way, as is commonly believed, it's a very simple act of disobedience. And they're out. So this teaches us this.
There, just add something that if the verse also says that it is, I lost it again. What was that page?
29:45.
29. If it's the means,
Remembering that?
29. If it is any the means for remembering God, which is even greater. So if it's the means for remembering Allah, we can also say that Salat is a technique against forgetting.
That's right.
Which means therefore Salat might be the technique that we will not fall into the sin of
Adam and Eve.
Of Adam.
They forgot. Yeah.
So it prevents us from eating from that tree. I think the things are all connected with.
Actually, that's in one of the statements, at least one in the Quran, that says Adam and Eve forgot.
Yeah.
So they forgot God. And prayer makes you remember God. Now, how many common people you think of God? You know? How often do they think of God? They wake up in the morning and they're going to work. They get up in the morning and they are hating it, and they go shaving or making up their faces and putting their faces on, like they say, and then go to work. They never think of God. And then at the end of the day, back home, preparing dinner. So most people don't think of God whatsoever. They forget. Which reminds me, a commandment in Surah 59, verse 18. 59, 18, I think. Just look at it. Since you are on this subject. 18, it says, O you who believe, beware of God, and let each of you examine what he or she has advanced for the coming day. You shall observe God, for God is cognizant of everything you do. Do not be like those who forgot God, so he made them forget their own souls. These are the wicked. Not equal are those who have deserved him and those who have deserved heaven. Those who have deserved heaven are the winners. So it says, when people forget God, that makes them forget themselves. So they neglect themselves. And who is themselves? Themselves is their soul. They forget to feed their soul. A lot of people are very careful in the morning to get a cup of tea or breakfast. So they're giving their body their cup of coffee or breakfast, and if they don't breakfast eaters, they never forget lunch. So they don't forget their body, which is not them. The body is a garment worn by them temporarily for a blink of an eye. This whole life is like a blink of an eye, even not that. Because in the real life, in the hereafter, we'll be talking in terms of millions of years. So what is 60 years or 100 years? The blink of an eye. Yet people put all the concentration on this blink of an eye. Are they going to be rich or poor, tall or short, fat or skinny? Yeah. In the blink of an eye. And they are concentrating all their effort on that blink of an eye. When it's really not important at all to be tall or short, man or woman, fat or skinny, beautiful or ugly. It really doesn't matter. The blink of an eye. What matters, this blink of an eye is very important in that it prepares you for the hereafter. So our goal is to go out of this life sinless. I don't know, Tammy and Beth missed that, but Rahima just added that there are verses in the Quran that says that the Salat prayer wipes out sins. Another way of wiping out sins. Yes, fasting and charity, all the duties imposed on you by God wipes out your sins. Because that verse we looked at in 11:114 is a general statement that the righteous works wipe out sin. Righteous works. When you feed a hungry person out in the street, just wipe some of your sin.
You know, I talked about fasting.
Fasting Ramadan.
Fasting on the ground. You know, once in a while you feel kind of sluggy, you know. But you just sort of fast once in a while just to clear your slate.
I don't go for fasting outside of Ramadan.
What
It's
about
like,
to make up for days that you didn't use?
Right.
Otherwise, no.
Right.
So the tradition of Monday and Thursday, that's a hadith.
Monday and Thursday, yeah, that's the hadith.
Yeah, that's what I.
Just like in wudu, 4 things, but they do 9 things. I don't go for that. I go sticking to what God said. I don't want to deviate from what God said. God said fast the month of Ramadan.
Extra fasting is not good.
No, doesn't.
But fasting, the number of days you miss is obligatory.
Right. 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 If it is stated in the Quran, yes. Like if you break an oath, you have to fast 3 days. That's, so these are obligatory. They're stated in the Quran, but you just fast on your own.
So if you fasted all of Ramadan and you have no fast to do and you want to fast an extra day, it's not good to do it.
Right. God says fast a specific number of days. It's like saying when you make your wudu, you do these 4 things. So Satan wants you to disobey God in any way or form. So if you want to fast, go on a diet, in other words, for health reasons, I will deliberately break my fast. I will go on a diet and I will eat a baby or a peanut or something, so I will not do fast. That will be dieting. Because Satan's object is to make us break God's law.
It's hard enough to fast for 30 days.
Yeah.
No, it's very, very common practice among the Sunni Muslims to fast on Monday and Tuesday.
They have all kinds of, and the 3 white days.
Yeah. If fasting is righteous, then I don't understand. It's just like, well, God says in the Quran to do the 5 prayers, and I don't feel that if you did more than 5, you did extra prayers, you would be fine. I mean, you're not doing it just to.
Yeah, you do it without limitations.
Or,
you do it without limitations.
well, if you do it just because you feel like doing it,
That's perfect. But the Quran says that. The Quran says you can pray extra prayers, but doesn't say fast extra fasting. That's what the difference is, Harry. That as far as extra prayers are concerned, God says do them. So get up in the middle of the night and pray. But there are no limitations, no specific numbers. And you have to do it because you feel like it. and you are rewarded for that. So the Quran deals specifically with this. It says, go ahead and do extra salat prayer. But it never says do extra fasting.
Yeah, well, it says a specific number of days.
Right. Well, as far as fasting, it says fast a specific number of days.
To be more exact, actually say in the translation, on specified days.
Exactly.
Specified days. The month.
The month of Ramadan, the moon, the new moon means the month of Ramadan, and the new moon is the next month. Done. Right. Right. Exactly. We just making it up. And exactly the same. As if it is Ramadan. Right. So I'm going to quit smoking. I pledge to God, I'm going to quit smoking. Then you don't. No, it's a pledge. It's a pledge to God.
That's her question, whether it's just a pledge to God or whether if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you don't like it. I'm going to do the laundry tomorrow, I don't do it till Friday.
Or a promise to somebody.
Yeah.
You're supposed to fulfill your promises to anybody.
But if you don't, for some reason, fulfill a promise, is that something you're going to have to fast for? Or that's her question.
Yeah, no.
It's only when you say, God, I'm going to do something wrong.
I pledge. If it is a pledge to God, then you have to fast 3 days or feed 10 people. You cannot fast. Yeah.
Because God's merciful, symbolically, don't we get like more credit for good deeds and you get taken away for a sin?
Yes,
Say like
that's
10
right.
to 1 or
When you do a good deed, you're rewarded for 10. When you do a bad deed, it's recorded as 1 sin.
That's just the numbers.
Pardon?
That's just the numbers you're given.
No, the Quran says that.
10 to 1?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
And if you don't like,
Yeah. That says you do one good work and I'll give you a reward for 10. But if you do a bad work, you will be punished for 1. So if you have to pay for it here, if you go drink now, for example, you'll have to pay for the one offense. But you know it is wrong. But if you feed a hungry person on the street, you get the reward for feeding 10. When you do 1 salat, it's equivalent to 10. You get the reward for 10. So, the only unforgivable offense is idol worship.
There had to be a test though because it sounded so discouraging. Saying that you had to go through life without sinning.
Yep.
You know, but now that it's 10 to 1.
Not meant to encourage people to sin, though, I don't think so.
Yeah, but see, the people who are in idol worship, they do not have the advantages of forgiveness. The disbelievers and the idol worshippers do not have the advantages of forgiveness or repentance. So, like I mentioned this before, that this bumper sticker that says believers are not better, they are just forgiven.
You can repent on idol worship, can't you?
Oh yeah. You can repent from idol worship as long as you're alive. And when I'm talking about idol worship, is a person who died as an idol worshiper.
Right.
That person is hopeless. The things are not forgiven. Yeah.
I'm asking this question because I'm not sure if it's Quran or if it's Hadith. As far as if you want to do something wrong and then you don't do it, you should be going to is that just wrong? Like if you forget to do a bad deed or and you decide not to do it, you change your mind and then you get the reward.
I don't think of it. I don't remember it.
what if I say I'm going to go down and get drunk tonight, and then I say no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I stay away from it. Do I get anything extra for that? I don't. It sounds like a hobby to me.
What you get is you prevented the minus from going into your record.
What you want to know is
You saved yourself from
yourself.
punishment, from severe punishment. This is a hadith, I know that, but I was thinking that there are lots of things in hadith that are also in Quran, so I have to think about it.
Well, we do get credit for that because we're passing another test. But the test is funny.
Yes, yes, you can say.
It's strength in 2000.
Our thoughts and your
See, what you're doing, your body wants to go and get drunk or whatever, and you told your body, no, don't do that. So you're exercising your soul is becoming stronger, and your body is becoming your slave. It's the other way around.
So your thoughts and actions, your thoughts is like the test, and your actions is like the test.
That's right. You'd be surprised how many tests people put themselves into. A lot of times we give ourselves tests when we really don't need to. Like, what would you do if you were in that position? Yes. Well, yeah, there are thoughts that are wrong. So the believers have the advantage of forgiveness and repentance. Yeah. Yes. Where sins are converted into credit. Yeah. Here's the verse. Let's look at it. I have it right in front of me. Okay. 2570. 2570.